know what goes well with a nice snow day? A nice cup of hot cocoa and some friends. That is the way to spend a snowy day.
Along with a nice spice of rum.
Facts.
What's up, guys? Otaku here, and of course I have
K1.
YBE squared.
and Otaku. Today's topic, because it is snowing outside, and you know we here at Need Extra Life deserves a nice little snow day, so decided to do a bit of a podcast and talk about snow days. We all got our warm beverages. I got myself a hot cocoa. K1 has a coffee, and Y Square has cocoa.
Yeah.
So this is how we're gonna do this. So we're just gonna tell our snow stories, and I will start out after this sip of hot cocoa. Hot cocoa is always good. So my favorite snow day was the snowstorm of '09.
I remember
That
that.
shit piled up, and it froze so much that even just placing one boot onto the snow did not crush it. Actually, my whole body didn't crush it unless I stomped. I was able to balance on snow.
Nice.
That was like 3 days of no school. What did you guys do on the snowstorm of '09? Because that was a bitch and a half to shovel my driveway at the time. Because what my dad did, because I had Serge over and he stayed the night, is we had to go out every hour to shovel snow so that it didn't pile up high. Holy fuck, was that annoying.
So I do remember because this was like the first major squad photo, and the day we went home, my parents asked me and my brother to literally shovel the sidewalk and the driveway before they got home. And literally, it was the first time we've been out in that weather for 3 hours straight, because we literally looked at each other and said, we can maybe work this out for a little later. But then it literally started to clumping. Like when we step up, it started to clump, and like deep footprints in the snow. And we're just like, nah, if we do not do this now, oh, they're going to kill us when they get home. So we started like right around 1:30 and didn't get back in till near 4:30. So, that was like the major time we've ever shoveled snow, because as kids, my dad would always shovel the snow, that military training. But overall, it was pretty good. And then, of course, came in, watched some X-Play, and had hot cocoa. So that was a positive out of that day.
All right. To be clear, this is the snowstorm right before the much bigger one that followed a few weeks after, right?
No, this is the big one. This is like
The Snowmageddon?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was '09.
Because I was actually... Oh, okay, I thought that was early 2010. Because, we had two storms. It was a smaller one followed by that much bigger one. But I don't know.
It was February of '09, if I'm not mistaken.
February 2010. I know when that happened because around that time...
I don't know why it's still called the snowstorm of '09. But...
Especially how they give snowstorms names. Nobody remembers this name. We just remember how much fucking...
There's names for them, like hurricanes?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Only the Weather Channel makes names for them. Yeah, that's...
The local news always gives them names as well. Trust me, I've watched enough News 4, News 7, and News 9 to know that they give them names.
Okay. All right. So, assuming we're talking about that big snowstorm, I was actually in New York for most of that.
No, it was the blizzard of '09.
Then I don't remember at all.
Yeah, like the giant blizzard that hit everything on the East Coast. It was '09, 2010. I don't know why people say '10 as well. Like I almost said '10, but like,
because I know the main thing happened in 2010.
But there was one in '09.
There was one in '09, and that dumped about a couple feet of snow. But anyway, if we're talking about that big snowstorm, I was actually briefly in New York at the time.
That hit it the worst. Didn't it?
New York only got 8 inches.
More than us. More than Virginia. You also forget New York and like Pennsylvania.
They usually get much more snow
for the East Coast. Those are like more, besides the northern ones. Those are the ones that get hit the most with snow. Anything that's near Canada.
Yeah.
Always gets hit snow the worst, which means also their school systems. Like if it's 10 inches or so, they're like no schools.
Okay.
But like for us, barely an inch of snow, they're like no schools.
Okay. We're talking specifically about this one, December 2009. Okay, I know that one. That was the predecessor to the much. Wait, that is the huge one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what had happened because I was in New York for that entire month. That happened for reasons that's
your blizzard and our blizzard are two different blizzards.
Yeah.
There's two blizzard storms that hit during the New Year time.
Yeah.
Frame. 2009 was for Virginia. 2010 was New York. That's why you remember it differently because you were in New York.
Yeah, but we barely got snow.
There was two, like I said, two different blizzards.
Okay. But anyway, like when I returned, the whole place here was a winter wasteland, as I described it.
Not a winter wonderland.
Like I had to. It was just like stepping into an alien world. I had to like reacquaint myself with my own like home area.
What, you didn't snort and think it was all cocaine? Shit.
Nah, sorry, I'm allergic to cocaine.
But just as I stated, I always remember this because this was like the first major squad photo.
Yep.
Was that in it? No, it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. Yeah, didn't I send you this?
Yeah, I think it was somebody just remembered. I think somebody just remembered.
It was me because I screenshotted it and then sent it to Mike.
True.
He goes, "Where are you fighting these?"
Yeah, just the OG squad. Humble beginnings.
And then the 011s came in and changed it up.
Yeah.
Class of 010 and 011, stand up.
That's me and Westward. But, so, back in high school, snow days were the fun days. The cold didn't affect me, but I hated my winter coat. There is a video that no one's going to find. Because no one's friends with no one on in the internet is friends with my dad. It's an old video, but it's titled My Dumb Son. And it was on Facebook, and it's me running, it's me looking at Serge, because he has a camera, and he goes, "What's up, guys? I'm stupid." I took off my shirt, and tried to go down a hill on a sled, shirtless, and then I was like, "Oh, forget, you see me scooted," and then I was like, "Oh, fuck it," and I get off of the sled and jump, belly flopped into the snow, and then came back up, and then tried to put my shirt on. No, I tried to wipe off the snow with my winter jacket, with my big fluffy winter jacket, and it started to hurt as I was like getting the snow off. I was like, "Let's stop, give me my shirt, and then put my shirt on."
Okay, so I have a bit of a two-parter. So the first part is, I don't know, like if people know this about me, but I did not know what snow days were till I moved here. Literally.
Where were you before again?
Actually, I was living up in Fairbanks, Alaska. So trust me, we know what snow is. We've gone to school.
Well, yeah, because Alaska's all about.
Right.
There's already snow. There's no point in snow days.
Right.
I'm surprised you guys just don't have Sundays.
True. Fun fact, it actually has reached 70 in Alaska. Because people always have asked me, "Oh, like how high does it get up there during the summer in Alaska?" I'm like, it does get up to 70s. It does?
I'm sure, like, due to like its geography, like midsummer Fairbanks would actually get warmer than Anchorage.
It would.
Yeah.
Isn't there a place in Alaska where it's nighttime for like 6 months?
Yes, you have to go way north.
There's
like
a town called
hard
Barrow.
north. Like literally nothing but forest. We went up there like once for a family trip. Literally, you have to go way north where there's nothing but forest and like one town. And yes, there are just nothing but cabins, but literally it is night it doesn't matter. Like we and my brother woke up and it was still dark out. My parents were like, you're gonna be late. It's like, what? Isn't it nighttime? No, it's 10 a.m. in the morning. But literally, moon was out, clear as day. So I have had that experience.
I'll continue the story.
But so when we moved here to Virginia, I remember this fluently. I was at daycare and we were just playing around, and then there was supposed to be school in probably 20 minutes. And our daycare supervisor came down and just said, okay, kids, so we just heard from the news, so you're all closed, so you all can stay here and do whatever you want. And everybody went, yay, yay, yay. And I literally looked up and said, why? Why can't we go to school? Everybody just stopped and said, it's a snow day. I'm like, what's a snow day? And they're like, you're joking, right? I'm like, no, we always went to school in the snow. What's a snow day? Literally, like, the kids just looked at us like we were just like, are you from another dimension? And they said, that means we can't go to school. It's not safe enough to go to school, so we stay here. And I'm like, okay.
So I felt like those kids looked at you like how kids look at other kids when they're like, are we supposed to have a test?
I'll agree there. I will agree there. Only I'm not an asshole about it. I'm not that person who waits till the last minute and says, oh yeah, weren't you supposed to get homework?
Weren't you supposed to grade our test?
Jeez. Okay, but then that leads on to my second story. So you brought up the blizzard of 09. Yeah. When I was in 5th grade, the one I remember the most is the blizzard of 96. And I remember this because it literally hit us with no warning. Like, I remember the Monday I got out of school that, I just got a B on a spelling test, and I made no...
I'm ashamed of you. You could have got an A.
I know. I was technically upset. I was really upset at myself for getting a...
Do you remember what word you failed?
I think it was subatomic, I think.
White square, spell that!
Subatomic, SUBATOMIC, subatomic.
How dare you not know how to spell that?
That's what I'm so disappointed at. Don't remind me. Jeez. But still. So, the next day is like I wake up and it's cloudy, and it's like, okay, no problem. So then, we step outside to get on the bus, and literally it just starts dropping. So we make it all the way to school, and we get into the classroom. I shit you not. 15 minutes later, they just say, listen, everybody, based on safety, we're all going home. There's no point. So, they even had the buses not even leave the property, and everybody just went back on the bus and got on. Now, in 96, the thing about it was this first dropped at least 6 to 8 inches, and we were like, okay, no problem. So it got us out for literally 4 days of school, and then it actually cleared up. Then, during the weekend, it was like, okay, we're going back to school. But then, I think because it was on Sunday, a literal mix of freezing rain and all that came on top of the snow that was still there and made more snow. Then the following Wednesday, more snow dropped to another 6 inches. So we got out of school for 2 full weeks because of that blizzard.
Oh, yeah.
And then the best thing was we didn't have to make it up because it literally was back when the snow days
we had snow days
piled
up.
Yeah, we had those snow days piled up. People were just like, oh, don't worry about making it up. We're good. So we didn't have to waste our...
See, the worst thing about that was because of the 2 weeks we were off of school, I didn't know what day we had to come back to. Was it an even day or an odd day?
Yeah.
Because they had specifically, because ours was blue and gold days. So we didn't know which, we came back, we didn't know which one we were going to.
Oh, I know. Didn't at one point we repeated one of the color days, like a blue day?
Probably. Yeah. But so another snow day was, I believe you weren't there because you went to different college. This was Nova Days 2014 when it snowed during it. I went out there, did Gundam style in the snow, and then I orchestrated a snowball fight that got really fun.
Nice.
I pelted everyone in the head. It was great. And then I used my jacket as a shield, so I took that off, and I kind of did Spider-Man-esque dodges. Not without the flips and everything, but I was like, no, and spotty one.
Nice.
Yeah. Another one was there was a snowstorm 2016, I believe. 2016, like end of 2015, kind of. That I had to work when I worked at the hookah blind store, and I felt so bad for my coworker, who works at the main shop, but he came down because apparently my boss didn't trust me or something. I don't fucking know. And he was there. And he had to stay for the next 2 days in that shop. No one came in. He just stayed there because how bad it was.
Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, and I didn't even go into work, and I came in, and I was like, Yvonne, what the? You stayed? He goes, yeah, I slept here. I was like, did we get any money? He goes, no one even came in. And I was like, and you couldn't light up a hookah. How disappointing this day is.
Rest to the man.
But so ever since I did that job, I only smoked hookah once during my work hours. Once.
Okay.
Because I had to test out a new head.
Okay, so this jumps me to 2 questions for you guys. So this first question: what snowstorm has hit and literally you believed you should have gotten off school or work and that it didn't happen?
Easy. There was one that it snowed during 4th period.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, oh, it's snowing, because I had a big window in my classroom. It was a computer class. There was one kid that didn't believe it, so I literally opened the teacher wasn't there, so I literally opened the window, got onto the roof, grabbed a piece of snow and threw it at him. And I go, like the same thing in the office. I came back in, the teacher actually walked in and goes, oh, it's snowing. I was like, yeah, it's snowing, isn't it, bud?
But you didn't get off that day? Okay. Why scored?
It is.
I have to reach into it first because, like, I was.
White Square. Me and White Square went to the same high school, so whatever I say, it's going to be the same thing for him.
Yep.
Really noted.
But mine's a different story because he had a different 4th period than I did.
Yeah.
So it literally because it was so late. Was it 4th period? No, it was 2nd period.
So it was like 11-ish, 12-ish.
It was more like a 9-ish.
No. From 2nd period, it's 8:30 to 10:10. No.
Yeah, 8:30, 10:10.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one was the one that literally broke my county's rule on snow days. So it happens, and it's a mix. And we start off with a 2-hour delay. And this 2-hour delay literally goes into 11. But during that time, 5 counties next to us all decide just to close for the day. But we hold out, like literally to the point where we're at the bus and literally the last county like down south to us closes and just says, screw it, we're closing, because like there was a bunch of 2-hour delays. We go to school and we're like, damn it, how come we didn't get out? So leave it an hour later, we find out elementary get freaking the day off. And it's like, well, why is that? So it turns out because nobody called it, some people were coming to school to another school down near the back roads. They actually crashed. 2 people were killed and 1 was crippled. So then they said, oh, well, let's keep the elementary school kids out. Okay, well, shouldn't we close up the middle and high schools? And it's like, nah, they're already in school. Let's just keep the days out for it.
I feel like this is very similar to.
Remember, he went to a different high school.
Yeah, I know.
County.
This story is like very similar to something that happened in. I think it happened in Fairfax County. Like, am I supposed to do that? I
That's fine.
Anyway, like in a neighboring county. All right, so this happened in a neighboring county not more than a few years ago. The county, I think it was the superintendent, like I can't remember the story right now because I'm just doing something else at the moment. But what happened was
Take a seat.
Yeah.
Explain the story.
Okay, but
No. Keep going with the story.
Okay, so
So resume. So what happened?
So the county decided not to call the school, despite like there being like clearly like just ice all over the roads, and of course like on the way to schools like they'd be there would be buses crashing left and right, and the county was roasted on social media worldwide over this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to look this up right now, but like this was like recent-ish that it had happened.
Well, while he looks that up, so after that happened and those kids died, and the one was crippled, so rest in peace and all the best to their families for that, then it literally kicked into there's even an inch or any ice on the roads, you're closed. But I'm literally still to this day heated at that county for doing that. They literally could have saved lives if they just would have followed everyone else's examples and let us out that day. So that's what really pissed me off for that.
So me, I remember it snowed one day, and our college was open,
Mm-hmm.
and I had that '96 Saturn. Boy, I almost crashed
Oh,
as I was going at 6 a.m., like 6:30 a.m. to get there, because you know how I get there early. I go down the hill, and my car started losing control, and I was like, you'd be surprised. I wasn't actually panicking. I go, all right, into the skid. Because I accidentally went to the other. I was like, wait, no, into the skid. All right, cool. And I spun, and I was inches away from hitting another car. And I go, ah, yes, I too am Vin Diesel. And drove the rest of the way. Because they didn't come and did our like neighborhood.
oh,
But got there, and Country Mutt was there with me. And we're always we're parking buddies. And we just got there and just hanged out and waited for everyone. And then all my classes were canceled anyway. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to here chill with you guys. They're like, aren't you going to go home? And I was like, no. I almost got into a car accident. I'm not dealing with that. I'll wait.
like honestly,
Let's just all chill. This is our safe zone for the snow.
like honestly,
This is before the WAS building.
Right. But like literally, whenever class got canceled, we still came to college, and then we just hung out for literal hours on end
Oh, yeah.
until like one person left, and they said, "Okay, yeah, the roads are good. You all can go home." Like I remember I called my parents. Yeah, my classes got canceled. Oh, so you're coming home? I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna spend it up here with the guys. It's like, you sure? It might get worse. And I'm like, then I'll just stay here, and if in case I can just hang with one of them, or maybe I can spend the night at one of their houses in case. And they're like, all right, just want to make sure everything's okay. I'm like, Mom, everything's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, snow's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Have it?
Yeah. So it happened in January 2015, and even though the next county over got the most.
Oh, wait,
flack
that was
over
a
it,
snowstorm. That was a snowstorm.
This county and another one like also like had gotten fired for all that, but in that time there were like hundreds of calls like reporting school bus crashes or buses getting stuck on ice in the middle of traffic and stuff, and the county officials like had to I guess scramble to explain to the parents as to why like they didn't behind the decision not to delay or close schools, and it was like all of social media just went no, we do not accept it.
So what was your second question?
So the second question is, depending on like school or work, what day, like what happened that it snowed and you got the most rewarded from the snow? Like what just worked out because it snowed and made it a really good day?
Oh, I had tests every class. Got to school. No, it was barely snowed. I had like tests in other classes that I didn't get chances. Well, I don't actually study. I still pass. I'm great like that. Hell yeah.
So
Study what? And came back the next day. They're like, yeah, because of the snow day, no test. I was like, oh yeah. Can we not do any work?
Okay, so mine was.
Oh, yeah. So back to the at work when it snowed, because my boss was like, "Yeah, you got to come in," and I was like, I looked at the snow, I go, "I'm not coming in." Because, yeah, don't worry about it. You don't have to come in. I was like, all right, cool. Because if I did, then I would have had to stay at work. And I would have lost my mind going, I need to smoke. If I'm stuck at work.
So mine's the opposite. So when I worked at a grocery store, I literally went up there, and it was bare empty. So literally, the only manager who I ever respected in that place just said, you know what, it is just dead in here, so you can go up to the break room and do whatever you want. So I was lucky enough to bring my Game Boy, and I just started playing Smash Brothers, and then like out of nowhere, he comes in with some chocolate.
Wait, hang on. There was Smash for the Game Boy?
Yeah.
The only portable system I know of where Smash was released on is a 3DS.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. Don't say it's a Game Boy. You're all the Hispanic mothers going, watching their kids play their Xboxes. Oh, you're playing their Nintendo?
Hey, it's still a Game Boy. It's just more. It's more of the evolution
call it
of
as
the
it
Game
is,
Boy.
a Nintendo DS.
Okay, but it was still a
Nintendo 3DS.
Although I would like to see a remake of Smash Bros. Like on the Game Boy, just as a proof of concept thing.
Game Boy Melee.
Yes.
Yes.
You're welcome, Nintendo.
Stars.
Because if it is, it has all the same controls.
True.
If you look at the Game Boy versus the GameCube controller, it's basically the same thing without a C-stick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The extra button is the select.
Yeah.
So, like, the other thing was he just comes out of nowhere with chocolate and bourbon, like a huge glass bottle of bourbon, and just says, you want to help me with these? And I'm just like, fuck yeah. So I literally got paid to play my 3DS, play Smash, eat chocolate, and drink bourbon for 6 hours.
Ooh, I have another snow story.
Okay,
I just remembered for work.
Okay, so just
This was Christmas.
nice.
And it snowed on Christmas. And apparently I wasn't supposed to be there. According to the higher-ups, they're like, yeah, Otaku does not have to be here. He can be on call, but he shouldn't be here. And I go, what? I was not even told of this. So I just literally left myself clocked in and left. I only came back once to fix something, and I came home, and my boss calls me and goes, hey, how's the building going? And I was like, yeah, it's doing good. I'm like close to home, and I was like, I hope he doesn't hear my car, because I'm talking to him from Bluetooth, and I was like, yeah, the building's great, you know, hardware's going pretty well. Okay, if there's anything else, just let me know. I was like, all right, cool, bye. Left, chilled. I streamed that day, and then when I came back on that Monday, he was like, so how's the building? I was like, oh, it's good. Next day, like, hey, you need to go to HR real quick. I was like, why? He goes, you didn't clock out on Christmas. I was like, oh, yeah, let me go tell her what time I clocked out. So I got time and a half to do nothing but stream.
Right. So back when I was working in Sterling late night, so one night it actually snowed in Sterling, and I was like just working, and then out of nowhere I hear a knock on my office door. I say, come in. It was the manager of the office building we all rented out, and he said, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and close up early because it's snowing, so we want to get everybody out of here, make sure everybody can like get home safely. So I call my boss and say, yeah, boss, so yeah, they want everybody to leave the building, so can we count this as just I can go home? He's like, well, we need you to keep working down there. And I'm like, well, I mean, I could take my stuff and go home. And he's like, well, I don't want you to literally drive up, seeing as he's like from Sterling back home. And then, of course, anything bad happened to you. So my boss actually, there was a hotel right across the street, set me up in a hotel, and then literally said, as long as you get your work done, help yourself, whatever. If you need to eat or take a little bit of the bar, it's all yours. And I'm like, thank you. I just remember literally drinking $66 worth of booze just from that. And literally, I woke up probably 11 a.m. the next morning. And, like, of course I got my work done, but my boss calls me and says, are you working on it? Oh, yeah, 100%. Well, literally sloshed out of my mind off the bed. Yeah, boss, I'm good. Everything's working. He's like, you sure you're okay? It's like, yeah, this bed is just really comfortable, boss. Like, really, thank you so much for setting me up in this hotel. And he's like, okay, just make sure you email me that as quickly possible. And I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely. drop the phone, drop back out, don't wake up till 3 p.m., and then just email. He's like, what took you so long? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, that bed was so good. And like, yeah, I know he knows I was sloshed, but he just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's Snowdays are great.
Mm-hmm.
You got any?
Well, mostly like at my old job, like any snow day that we have that we don't have to show up is like a good day to me. Like it works out enough because I'd be damned if I have to spend even 2 seconds on top of an extension ladder just to trim out one Ethernet wire for a camera or something with like I don't know howling winds or whatever. But like I guess like one time like I was it was supposed to be a normal day, but instead of like doing like 2 or 3 trim jobs, we only did one and we went home for the day. It was all good.
It's nice. It's always nice when you don't have to work during the snow days. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that's not in my case, but I don't care. And guys, that is it for today's podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. Sorry about last week with no podcast. We were very busy that weekend. Hopefully this actually makes it up. But catch for our next podcast next week. I am Otaku, and as always, guys, keep moving forward. We'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Still continue to wear a mask and social distance until the vaccine is proper.
Invest in GameStop and AMC to the moon!
And fuck hedge fund managers.
Laters.